Alright guys, we are back with another solo run, episode 90. Wow, 90 solo runs I've done on this Gen 1 randomizer challenge that I've done. Today we are doing a solo run with just Psyduck, the water duck Pokemon, and this is going to be a struggle if I'm being honest. So let's talk about its base stats. We got a base stat total of 320. Majority of that's in special at 65, which is it's alright for a first stage evolution. Defense, really on the bad side though, at 48. But overall, Psyduck is not all too bad. Our rival for today is going to be Forest Laflamme. Thank you for subscribing and I hope you enjoy this video. So let's talk about the moveset now. We start off with the move Just Scratch, a normal type 40 base power move, and that's all we get until the 28 where we get Tail Whip. That's all we get. And there are no TMs that we can learn before Brock, meaning we're really going to struggle against his rock-type Pokemon. I really don't have to level all the way up to level 36 where we can get Confusion. Yeah, level 36 is the first level we get another attacking move at. We haven't really got a great start to this, but let's see how we do against the rival and we'll go from there. Scratch is doing alright damage. I mean, the tackle is doing much more against us. Annoyingly, it does use Growl as well. But because we're consistent and we can only use Scratch, we take the win because he decides to use Growl a few times. Pretty simple first battle, but in the against the bug trainers in Viridian Forest, we start to see some glaring issues. These Weedles can poison you with their Poison Sting, and we do need the levels if we're going to go against Brock, so we need to go against all of them. We even need to go against the rival to the west of Viridian as well, but for right now, these bug catchers are a little bit tough. We even need to train up against the random Pokemon we go against, because we need all the experience that we can get. Because Scratch is just not really going to help us out very much when it comes to Brock. We need to see what we can actually do. And here's where we see the big problem. We get poisoned by the Weedle. Thankfully at this point in Viridian Forest, after this trainer though, there is an antidote just after this trainer. That doesn't really help us when we've got another couple Pokemon to get through and we're poisoned and against a Kakuna who keeps using Harden. The final Weedle goes down to 3 scratches and we have earned quite a bit of XP there. We need to use pretty much all of our potions before we even get to Pewter City, and we need to use this antidote to make sure we can even get through in one go. But otherwise, we're going to black out, we're going to go back to Viridian or Pallet Town. I can't remember which one of the two that I might not have gone into the Pokemon Center, and if you don't go into the Pokemon Center, it won't take you back to there, it'll take you straight back to Pallet Town. You can pick up all the potions and the hidden potion right in front of this trainer. And we've got one more fight before we can actually go to... we get poisoned again. This is what I mean. Early game, yeah, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult against these trainers. It's just the Weedles. The Weedles are the problem. But when we finally get through to Pewter with enough HP, we can then backtrack on ourselves and go against the rival to get even more experience. He's got a level 9 Pidgey and he's got his starter Pokemon, meaning it's not too bad of a fight. The worst thing that can happen here is we get Leech Seeded, but Scratch is just doing enough damage for us to work with. That's not going to be the case when we actually get to Brock though. So let's head back and we'll go against the Light Years trainer. It's the final trainer we can get some experience against. Otherwise we're relying on the random Pokemon we encounter. The Diglett only knows Scratch itself, so it's in the very same boat that we are. And the final Sandshrew, it does have Sand Attack, which is very annoying, but it does take us out. So yeah, we need to try that again. We are going to take the loss there and get the experience from the Diglett, because 190 experience at this stage in the game is valuable. So sometimes, instead of going against random Pokemon, it's worth losing a couple of fights against the Light Years trainer, just so you can get that experience. And we do that a few times, until we're level 13, where we get a much better matchup. We get a critical hit on the Scratch starting out, and the Sandshrew just goes for Scratch. We get a couple of criticals, which, considering we've only got 55 base speed, I'm quite surprised we're seeing so many recently. But when we finally do beat him, let's go into the level cap, or well, just over the level cap of level 15 against the Geodude, and let's see how we do. We've got 35 uses of Scratch to work with, so we're hoping on a few criticals, really. And we do get quite a few, but it's going to be a drawn-out fight, considering they have that Rock type. And both Geodude and Onix have got very high defences. Mechanically, this was put into Gen 1 because the game wanted you to think, oh, this isn't just some easy monster playing game. You've got to really think about it. It's your first introduction to the attack versus special type moves. If you've got a special type Pokemon going into this fight, you generally do a lot better. But if you're going in as a physical type, with only normal type moves that are resisted by rock, yeah, you've got a bit of a problem. We leveled all the way up to level 18, just to see how we did a bit more bulk behind us. And it's not really making all too much difference. We're really not doing much damage against the Geodude, and all we are hoping for are the critical hits. We're down to 9 HP, going into 12 at level 19 against the Onix. And we got 10 uses of Scratch to work with, which is just not going to be enough. We're going to be in struggle range here if we use up all of our Scratch PP. But that's not going to be something we need to worry about because we get taken out by the Onix. So we go up to level 20, which is very high for one of my runs doing this. There's not too many Pokemon I've had to do this with, but if we had another move like a Tail Whip a lot earlier, then we probably could do this at a lot lower level because we could lower the defenses and we can get around Bide. But when you've only got one move to work with and the Onix has got Bide, you've got no choice but to attack it head on, and you've got to take that Bide recoil damage. Anyway, what we're hoping for is he just goes for Screech. That is literally the only move we want him to use, because all we need to do is get our critical hits in. Wow, we get 2 in a row there. That is great. And we really don't want to Bide. We get down to 1 HP and finally take out the Onix. This took a lot of tries to get to, but we managed to do it at level 20. I could not do it at level 18 or 19. You needed that extra bit of bulk with the HP to make that possible. Going into Mount Moon, we can pick up our first new move, which is going to be Water Gun. You get it literally on the left as you go in, and it makes this next part of the run so much easier. By the next point in the run, I mean just Mount Moon. I mean, we've got Misty coming up next, the Water-type trainer, and we're a Water-type Pokemon with just Scratch and Water Gun. Luckily, there's another move we can go and learn, and that's going to be Mega Punch. And you can get this without even taking on this rocket that I'm fighting right now. But the reason why I did go against the rocket is because I wanted the ether from this rock. Because, yeah, well, we wanted Mega Punch because it's a very powerful move for this point in the game. And it'll take advantage of that 52 base attack that we have, which isn't our greatest asset, I would be honest, but it's better than anything else we've got here at this point in the game. When we can beat Misty, we can get Bubble Beam, but really, ideally, what we want to do, we want to be getting through to Vermilion where we can get Body Slam. My favourite Gen 1 move, of course. But for now, we're just going to see how we do against Misty at level 23. The Starmie, because we're a Water type, will not use any of her Water type moves. So we can use our Mega Punch, which is much more powerful than her Tackle, and we actually get a decently easy win at level 24. Reason why we're so high level? Pretty much because we were so high level against Brock, and there was a few trainers we need to go against, so yeah, we did have to go against quite a lot of people. Next up is Laflamme over on Nugget Bridge. And a couple of Bubble Beams is going to be the way we get through this fight. Mega Punches on the Abra, that'll take it down in 1. It's a very defensively weak Pokemon. Rattata is very specially weak, and that brings us on to the Bulbasaur, who does now have Vine Whip, but refuses to use it in this fight. We take a first time win, and we can move on to Vermilion City. So here in Vermilion on the SSM, we'll go into this room here, and we will beat the youngster before getting Body Slam. Much better move than we can get with Scratch. And also on the way to Vermilion, we picked up the TM for Dig. Yeah, Psyduck can learn Dig. I didn't know that. Even though I've done a Golduck run, I completely forgot that it can learn Dig. So I was very happy to see this move pop up, and we can actually use it for a bit more coverage. Going into the rival fight on SSN, we went into this fight paralysed because of the Pikachu trainer in one of the rooms where you get the Max Ether. We needed that item for later on in the game, especially pretty much, I collected these items throughout the game for the Elite Four, where you've got that gauntlet of trainers you need to get through. Picking up the Max Ethers, the Ether, elixirs on the way, definitely helps you out in the longevity, especially for a solo run where you only have your 4 moves to work with for the entirety of that run. Surge is not going to be a problem as well. Even though we're a Water-type Pokemon, we are decently speedy at level 28, and thankfully the Raichu did not use Thunderbolt. That means we can use Dig, sweep through his team, and move on to Rock Tunnel against the exploding hiker. He's not going to be a problem today. We outspeed and we have water type moves. His Pokemon are 4 times weak, meaning extremely easy fight, extremely easy experience, and we get the chance to learn Disable, which of course we're not going to do because it's a useless 55 base accuracy move. Why the hell would we want to use Disable? There probably is some like VGC reason for it, where some people have made it work, but personally I've never seen it work too well for me going through these runs. We sweep through Laflamme over in Lavender Tower, and the only Pokemon that really gives us a bit of an issue is the Ivysaur, but because we have Dig, it's 2-shot and we take the win. Moving us on to Celadon. Now you might think, what's going to be the easiest route here? We can get Ice Beam from the vending machine girl, giving us a very powerful move to go into the next gym with, but I don't, considering she's got 3 Pokemon and 2 of them are quite bulky with Victory Bell and Vileplume, it's going to make more sense for us to go against Giovanni here. And you know what, it even might be worth for us to miss out Celadon for a while. Erica might just be too powerful for a level 34 Psyduck. I mean, bloody hell, that Kangaskhan just does tons of damage, just really highlighting how bad our defense is. It might be worth us even getting some irons to raise that defense, but with us wanting to try and hit hard and hit fast, I've focused more into special and speed in this run. We've got more special type moves that we can utilise, and we take out Giovanni on the second try. Once we've picked up the Poke Flute from Mr. Fuji in Lavender Town, the game opens up a bit more. Now, I think Psyduck and Golduck have been done dirty in Gen 1. Genuinely just for the fact, yes, they can learn Confusion, but they can't learn Psychic. I feel like that is this Pokemon line done really dirty, because I think in later generations they can learn it, but in Gen 1 they can't learn Psychic. They can only learn Confusion, which is a 50 base power Psychic type move. It's the worst attacking Psychic type move apart from Psywave. And yeah, that's the only one it gets, which is really annoying. We push through the guards on the Cycling Road and we can move down to Koga. At level 36 we do now have Confusion, but we're not even going to learn it. There's no point. Dig is much more powerful, Ice Beam's much more powerful, Bubble Beam's much more powerful, and so is Body Slam. It's a great moveset to have for this game. Going into Koga, and we are struggling as soon as we get poisoned. The Coffins do big damage. Again, Poison type is a physical type move in Gen 1, meaning they're going to do quite a lot of damage against our pitiful 48 base defense. What we pretty much want, we want to get a little bit lucky. We do get poisoned again, but even with the minimizers, we hit through on Dig to take it out. We've got a lot more HP to work with going into the final Coughing and Wheezing. Now I'm going to go for the cheesy Dig strats here. Let's see if he blows himself up. He does, and we take an easy win. I love it when that happens against Koga. And we also pick up the TM for Toxic. Could see some use, but there's a move that I want a bit more. It's going to be a bit more useful, and that's going to be Surf. 95 base attack, 100% accuracy, and we get Water Stab on it. Yeah, much more powerful than Bubble Beam. Definitely a move we want more. And it also gets... It has 5 less PP, but for some... It's worth having 5 less PP for that 95 base power. Anyway, I think it's been enough time and levels now that we should be ready for Erica. But we are a first stage evolution Pokemon, and there's 3 Pokemon we need to deal with. Ice Beam might just not be enough here. Let's see how we do. Erica starts off with a Victory Bell, and we are 10 levels above it, and we still don't take it out in one. Razor Leaf does ridiculous amounts of damage, and we're finally through to the last Vileplume. I go for Dig to see if I can... Yeah, we probably should have been better going for Ice Beam if I'm being honest, but we'll see how we do on the second attempt. We freeze the Victory Bell, which is huge. We don't take big damage from the Razor Leaf. And on the Vileplume, we should have enough HP to work with here. 2 Ice Beams gets us the win. It all comes down to that Victory Bell most times. Like, I would say that's the scariest opponent on a team. It's got Sleep Powder, it's got Poison Powder, it's got Razor Leaf. All really powerful moves. Yes, the Vileplume does a Petal Dance, which is a very powerful grass type move, but I prefer Razor Leaf on that Victory Bell. It does a lot more damage. Let's go through to Silph Core, and of course we've lost against the 5th rival here. Wow. Okay, so way to get through this fight is a level 41 Psyduck. We need Ice Beam to work its magic pretty much. We need to get those freezers, which we don't get against the Gyarados. Surf on Growlithe. Alakazam, we need to use Body Slam. Oh, that's a lot of damage, and we didn't get the paralysis, meaning we lose again. Let's level up a tiny bit more and see what we do. Or we could just go over to Cinnabar Island, where it's going to get some easy experience in Blaine's gym. So we're doing this in a little bit of different order, so we're going to go to Blaine first, and then we'll go back to Sabrina and Silph Core. But there's also another move that I want to pick up here. So this is, as you're seeing right now, is literally the quickest way to get through the Burnt Mansion. We also pick up Blizzard right next to this statue. And then you don't even have to go against one trainer going through Burnt Mansion. You can literally skip them all, pick up a rare candy, pick up Solar Beam if you wanted it, and then you pick up the secret key, you dig out, and then you can go against his gym without taking any damage or fighting any trainers. The trainers in his gym are all super weak to water type moves, so we are getting some very easy experience here. And it's worth actually going against him. I mean, we're not going to have the greatest time going through this with a Psyduck because we lost a lot of time going against Brock. So we're not going to be the best at the best time. So what I want to do is give us the best chance against the next couple of fights coming up. Surf is just a great move in this gym. And we get so much experience from all of the trainers. And you can see how fast we're getting through them. We're not losing all too much time really going against these trainers. I always find it weird that this guy's got like a level 34 Charmander, because in like 2 levels it could be a Charizard if he decided to level it up and evolve it, but no, for some reason he wanted to keep it as a Charmander. It's a very weird, like even a Charmeleon there would have been cool. Even this guy here's got a Rapidash, level 41, which is I think the same level as Blaine's Rapidash. Yeah, Blaine's level is not really all too different from the trainers in his gym. His Arcanine's pretty much the only scary Pokemon. So, let's talk about Blaine himself. Level 42 Growlithe goes down to a Surf. Ponyta, level 40, goes down to a Surf. Rapidash, level 42, that's 1 level higher than that trainer's. Goes down to 2 Surfs. With level 44 going into the Arcanine, and Surf will 2-shot it if Takedown doesn't take us out. Well done, Psyduck, your defense is trash. Let's try that again. I feel like if we can get into that final Pokemon without taking any damage... Tail Whips, that's why we were taking so much damage. So we're -2 defense right now going into the Arcanine. If we get hit by that takedown, 9 HP we survive on after 2 Tail Whips. That could have gone south very quickly. But we've got a couple of levels, we've got the 6th gym badge. Let's see how we do against the rival in Silph Core again. This Pidgeot's not really a problem, but I kind of wish that it could go down in 1 hit. If we use Blizzard, possibly could have. We get through the first 3 Pokemon without taking all too much damage. We take out the Alakazam in 1 Body Slam, that's perfect. Ice Beam takes out the Venusaur in 2, and level 45 Psyduck gets the win. Kind of high level, but what can you do? We needed those levels here, we needed that extra experience. Let's see how we do against Giovanni, and this should be an easy sweep. We've got Dig to take out the poison type Pokemon. We've got Body Slam for the Kangaskhan, even though it takes 3 hits. Rhyhorn will go down to 1 Surf because it's 4 times weak to water type moves and has got terrible special. Nidoqueen goes down as well, and we come out of this fight at level 47. Let's see how we do against Sabrina. So, a lot of her Pokemon are very defensively weak. If we can outspeed and hit Body Slams, we should be one-shotting a lot of her Pokemon. Mr. Mine's a little bit tankier, and it does set up Barrier, which is kind of annoying. So, we're going to have to switch to Ice Beam, see if we can get... Oh, we got paralysed ourselves. That did not work out as I wanted it to. Can we do this with 71 HP? We're paralysed. Psybeam does decent. Nah, we can't do it. If we weren't paralysed there, we could have done that. It's really annoying when you see it, but Mr. Mime actually really screwed us over. This time he goes for a light screen, And I get to that point in the game where I realise that Venomoth is not a psychic type or a flying type, it's a poison bug type, meaning Dig will do super effective damage on it, giving us the chance to get through to the Alakazam, and 2 Body Slams give us the win. We pick up Psywave, which we cannot learn and we would never want to learn anyway, and we can move on to the final gym, where again we can train up against his gym trainers. A lot of them are weak to water type moves, or, well, the fighting types which have pretty bad special in this generation anyway. So we can get up quite a few levels and go against Giovanni. We're level 49 going into this, and his Rhyhorn goes down to a Surf. Can we outspeed the Doug Trio? We can't, but it goes for a guard spec. And we are 3 for 3 on the Nidoqueen. Okay, let's see if we're 4 for 4 on the Nidoking. Ooh, we do take some damage. I was kind of hoping we get a full sweep there. Either way, we take the 8th badge. And that leads us to the Elite Four. But wait, there is one more trainer before the Elite Four. We need to face Forest Laflamme again before taking on the Elite Four. We're level 50 going into this fight, and 2 Ice Beams takes out the Pidgeot. Surf takes out the Rhyhorn. And can we get a freeze against Gyarados? We can't. We do on the second, actually. Okay, that's good. And that brings us into the Growlithe, which should go down to a Surf. Quite easy so far, but the Alakazam is up next, and it hits hard. We need a Paralysis. We don't get it, and 2 Psychics take down Psyduck. We're going to need a few more levels, pretty much. We need to be able to outspeed, and maybe the next damage rounding threshold can help us out here. We're also going to put Blizzard on the moveset finally. Hopefully it's going to do a bit more damage with the ice. So can we get a freeze on the Gyarados? We can't. So we try for the Paralysis. Now we've taken a lot of damage here. I'll be very surprised if we finish this attempt. Can we outspeed the Alakazam? We can't, but he goes for Reflect and then gets paralysed. And next, a critical hit takes it out. Blizzard freezes the Venusaur. And with the cheesiest win, Psyduck shakes off his headache and gets us through to the Elite Four before level 55. That is more surprising than I was expecting. First up in the Elite Four, of course, we have Lorelei. And I misclicked there going for Blizzard, but this Dugong won't do anything but use Growl on us. We use Surf on the Cloyster because it's got pretty bad special, meaning it'll do more than Body Slam. When we can finally take it out after we've heal locked it, we're into the Slowbro, which we are going to go for Body Slam Zone. Yes, our attack has been massively nerfed with Growls, but we can keep it paralysed, we can hope for the critical hits, and that's all we can really work with, because now it starts setting up Amnesia. So once we finally take down the Slowbro, we are into the Jinx on very low stats, really. Dig is doing barely enough, and we are going to lose to the Jinx of all things. Well, let's try that again. We just got really bad luck in that fight, if I'm being honest. But I think it's time for Mimic. Yes, we are going to cheese this a bit. So let's go into the Cloyster, let's take it down as quick as we can, because we want to get to that Slowbro. A lot of the Pokemon in this fight use special type moves, apart from the Jinx, who uses Thrash, of all things. But we're going to mimic Amnesia. Yes, I know I hate using these strategies, but Badge Boost Glitch for the win, guys. Surf does a ton of damage against the Slowbro, and this just means we're going to sweep the rest of this fight. Surf takes out the Jinx, and does half damage on Lapras. Wow. Lorelei goes down, and we are on to Bruno, who will be an absolute cakewalk here. Onyx is weak to Surf, so bye-bye Onyx. Next up is the Hitmonchan, who we are going to use Blizzard against. It misses, but then gets a critical hit. And then we start sweeping. It just goes into an absolute flurry of Blizzards until we get to that Machamp, who just decides to try and use Fissure. We outspeed you, so no way is that going to work, Bruno. You're trash. Get out. Next up is Agatha, and we don't have Dig anymore. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to try Mimicking. We need Hypnosis, and we don't get it. That was quick. Okay, let's try that again. Let's see if we can get... Oh, for God's sake, put me asleep again. This is why Agatha is just annoying. Really just annoying. Okay, third time's the charm. Let's mimic Hypnosis. Can we hit? We got it off. Okay. We're going to have to use Surf to sweep through this, and we'll see how we do from there. Please stop using Super Potions, Agatha. It's just cheesy. It's doing my head in. Okay. Golbat does not get taken down by one Blizzard. We're going to have to use Hypnosis on the Haunter, and thankfully it doesn't do any damage to us whatsoever. We need to get through to that final Pokemon at least, where we can tank one Nightshade. Blizzard should do... It takes out Arbok in 2, that's fine with me. And finally we're on to the last Gengar. Let's see how we do here. We need to hit the Hypnosis. She hits the Toxic, meaning we cannot be put to sleep now by Hypnosis. 2 serves give us the win, and we move on to Lance. Yes, we are something special. We are a Psyduck. We're a dopey duck. We definitely are special. Anyway, let's talk about Lance. He's going to start off with his Gyarados, and we have no super effective moves here. We're relying on Blizzard. If we get that freeze, I will be very happy. But we don't want to use too many Blizzards because we need it for the other Dragon-type Pokemon coming out. And we're on 59 HP going into the rest of this fight. Both Dragonairs. Wow! A Dragonair tanked a Blizzard. I still think it's doable at this level. Let's try this again. If we get a freeze on Gyarados starting off, or paralysis, we're in a very good position. He uses a few Leers, which will add to a badge boost glitch that we can't... Well, I'm not the one setting up, so you can't have got me for it being set up at all. We still don't outspeed the Aerodactyl. And then he goes for a Hyper Potion, and then we paralyze him, meaning the next Blizzard will take him out. Can we outspeed? We do outspeed the Dragonite. Wow. That badge boost glitch has really helped us out, because Dragonite is decently fast. If we didn't have those badge boosters that they used on us by using Leer, then yeah, we probably wouldn't have won that. Let's talk about the champion. One fight left, Forest Flam. Give us a good challenge, young buddy. Pidgeot sets up Sky Attack and does a ton of damage. We need to mimic Recover here, but a Psybeam will take us out. We just don't outspeed. Let's try this again, because I feel like it is possible at this level. First off, the Pidgeot, we're at level 65 now. I did use the last of my rare candies, and we get the freeze on Pidgeot, which is perfect. Next up is the Alakazam, and yeah, we really do need Recover. Let's mimic Recover, and let's go for the Body Slam. Psybeam is the most preferable move that he can be using because, for one, it doesn't do all too much damage. We can recover against the Rhydon, because it's probably the safest Pokemon to do this on. We surf it down, and we're onto the Gyarados. Now, if we get a freeze here, that is perfect. We don't, and he goes for Hyper Beam, but this means we've now got a turn where we can recover. Get our HP back up, he will recharge, and then we can Body Slam, see if we can do a bit more damage. Arcanine is up next, and we've got the type advantage, so I'm going to use Recover here, and then surf it down. It doesn't take it out in one, and we take a massive amount of damage from takedown. We're into the final Venusaur, unless we get a freeze here. He goes for Solar Beam. Best case scenario. 2 Blizzards take out the Venusaur, and on the second try, Psyduck takes the crown for Kanto. You know, that was decently fun. That was a decently fun run. I mean, it was fun after Brock. It was definitely a lot more fun after Brock. At level 66, Psy is in the Hall of Fame, and at 4 hours 46 minutes, we take the win. I'm happy at that. That's considering we lost a lot of time against Brock. We managed to make up a hell of a lot in the later game, but it doesn't mean it's going to be a higher tier in Pokemon. It's probably going to be quite a mid tier, but Psyduck's pretty good. If I remember right, Golduck was probably one of my ARS tier Pokemon, so I'm quite happy with how that's ended up. As we get to this point in the video, of course, we choose what Pokemon we're going to do a video with next week. Let's spin the wheel and see what we get. First up is Dugtrio, and I've been waiting for the Diglett line to be coming back up on this wheel, because I've not done it yet and I really want to see how they do. But this is an annoying choice because Lapras is next. Dugtrio or Lapras? Grimer, definitely not. We're not doing a Grimer run next week. You know what? I think it's time for the Dugtrio line. Let's go with Dugtrio and we'll see how we do. Hopefully we'll finally have a good ground type Pokemon getting into those S tiers. If you got to this point in the video, guys, please smash that like and subscribe, you legends. And I will see you next week for another run. Take care.